We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. A violent weekend in Baltimore ends with another teenager killed. We'll look at how the mayor's youth curfew is being enforced and if it is working to help curb crime. We're also looking at the cost of fighting crime. We'll take you inside the big budget hearings happening today and a look at how your tax dollars are being spent. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. It is the start of a big week at City Hall. It is week 2 of budget hearings. Crime and how to address it are expected to be a big focus. As Shannon Lilly tells us, today we're going to hear from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement. All right, we're going to get back to that in just a bit, but Monzi's hearing is just one of several budget hearings today. We'll also hear from the Baltimore Sheriff's Office and the state's Attorney's Office. And then tomorrow, it's time for the Baltimore City Health Department and Baltimore Police. It was another violent weekend in Baltimore. A 19-year-old was shot and killed in the Seton Hill area. That shooting happening during the second week of the mayor's youth curfew, although the 19-year-old would not have been subject to the curfew. As Olivia Dance shows us, there are concerns about the curfew and how it is being enforced.
Going into the weekend, the mayor's office was looking for city employees to enforce the curfew in 3 main areas, including here at Rashfield Park, which is in Federal Hill, as well as Fells Point and the Inner Harbor. A spokesperson for the mayor's office says they now have enough volunteers to enforce the curfew. The curfew goes into effect on the weekends and aims to stop large gatherings of teens while also limiting unnecessary interactions with police. Fox 45 News emailed the mayor's office asking how many volunteers have been acquired, what type of training they have received, and finally, how many juveniles have been transported to connection centers. We were told the office is still checking for updates, but some question the training that volunteers working enforcement areas have and worry about their safety.
It's like asking the school crossing guard or the hall monitor to stop a school shooter. The answer to this is very, very simple. Let the police do their job.
Anyone that volunteers is going to be putting themselves in harm's way for those youth that choose to be disrespectful or not following instructions.
City employees are asked to let the teens know the curfew is in effect and also ask if they need help contacting a parent or guardian for pickup. Employees' compensation includes comp time or overtime. For now, reporting in Baltimore, I'm Olivia Dance, Fox 45 News, Midday.
Well, that brings us to our question of the day. Do you think civilians should have a role in enforcing Baltimore's youth curfew? So far, 85% of you who have voted say no. You can make your voice heard right now at foxbaltimore.com/vote. Now let's get back to Shannon Lilly, who is telling us that we're expecting to hear from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement in a budget hearing today. Shannon? All right, for some reason, we just can't seem to get her, so we're going to move on. Breaking overnight, a Maryland trooper shoots and kills a man during an hours-long standoff in Carroll County, triggering now an investigation from the Maryland Attorney General's office. According to the AG's office, it started with a call about a suicidal man who was under the influence. SWAT and crisis teams tried to talk the man down, but investigators say the man pointed a dark object toward officers, causing one officer to open fire. According to the AG's office, a gun was found near the man. Now the AG's Independent Investigations Division is investigating. If you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline offers services to talk with counselors. You can reach them by dialing 988 or chat online at 988lifeline.org. 11:04, here's a look at today's top trending stories. Trending number 1, Maryland is getting new federal funding to help address dangerous railroad crossings. The Biden administration is giving the state $1.5 million in railroad crossing elimination grant program funding. It's the first ever dedicated grant to help communities eliminate points where railroad tracks intersect with roads. Trending number 2, police in Harford County say they've arrested 3 people in connection with a Friday night stabbing. Police say the victim is expected to survive. The trio of suspects now being held without bail. Trending number 3, an early morning fire in Edgewood is believed to have been started by squatters. Look at that. Firefighters say that it appears squatters were using a grill inside one of the homes. Fire crews were able to put out the fire. No injuries were reported. Download the Fox 45 News app for up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, breaking news, and weather anytime. Search WBFF in your app store. Well, still ahead, we're talking dinner party etiquette. We'll tell you about the new trend that some are calling cringe. And the rising cost of summer camp is forcing some parents to look for alternative payment plans. We'll tell you about the new trend coming up. But first, raising the minimum wage for select workers, where healthcare workers are getting a boost in pay mandated by the state.
Partly cloudy skies for today. Temperatures staying near average, and we've got a mainly dry week ahead. Not really tracking much in the way of rainfall. You can see those numbers, lower 80s today. We'll drop to the 60s tonight, then back to the mid to upper 80s. A little bit warmer on Tuesday. We'll talk about that warm up and if there could be any showers or storms squeezed out of that warming trend coming tomorrow. We'll talk about that in just a few.
Fox 45 News, winner of 17 2022 Regional Emmy Awards, more than all other Baltimore news stations combined.
.08 and happening today, President Biden is set to meet with the Danish Prime Minister at the White House. The leaders' talks are expected to focus heavily on the 15-month war between Russia and Ukraine. President Biden is also going to host UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak for talks later this week. Prince Harry was set to testify today in a trial accusing tabloids of illegally snooping on him, but he failed to show up. He's accusing the Daily Mirror of unlawfully tapping his phone. This is the first of his legal cases to go to trial. It's supposed to happen tomorrow now instead. Well, taking a look at your social stream, Maryland is seeing its first confirmed case of measles since 2019. Officials in Montgomery County say the case is linked to a gathering of people at an ice rink in Bethesda last week, as well as a professional office in Gaithersburg. Symptoms of measles are typical of many respiratory illnesses, followed by a characteristic rash that usually appears on the face before then spreading. Measles is a highly contagious viral illness. It is preventable if vaccinated. You've got reaction on social media. The first person doesn't seem to think it's all that much of a big deal. Ooh, scary. Get a grip. No big deal. Had it and am completely unvaxxed. Another person responding to her. This is what happens when people put their entire trust in some bored housewife's online blog for medical advice. So stirring up a little back and forth there. The California Senate passes a bill mandating a higher minimum wage for healthcare workers and support staff. Under the legislation, the workers would have to be paid at least $25 an hour. The new minimum wage requirement will be phased in starting at $21 an hour a year from now, and then it will reach the full amount the following year. Here's what you have to say about that. Michael says, why weren't they making this already? Where in some places in California, come July 1st, kids will be making $17.35 an hour for making popcorn. You got another one saying in South Florida, some healthcare workers still make $12 an hour, while a one-bedroom apartment costs $2,000 per month. Well, amid rising costs, more summer camps and kids' sports programs are moving to buy now, pay later formats, according to Worldline, which bills itself as the fourth largest payments provider in the world. More than 5,000 camps and leagues are on their system. It comes as the summer programs are becoming increasingly more expensive, and that is a fact. These parents know about it. Summer camp prices are absolutely ridiculous. It is going to cost me $375 per week for one kid for one camp, and $475 per week at another. So imagine the cost if you're trying to do camp for an entire summer. It is astronomical. Another one saying, parents are saying summer camp is too expensive because it is. They're charging a couple $100s for weekly rates and don't even take the kids anywhere or do anything, not to mention how the hours are barely a full work shift. It's not like when we were kids. Well, still ahead, we are talking airline etiquette ahead of the busy summer travel season. And a sonic boom rattles the D.C. area. What caused it and why you could hear similar sounds this week. And coming up later today at noon, it's Karamo. Then at 1, it's Sherry, followed by Hot Bench at 2. 11:12 now on Fox 45 News Midday. It is 11:13 and we are back with a live look over the Inner Harbor. We started out this morning in the 50s, but we are warming up into the 80s. Make sure you stay with us. Coming up, meteorologist Justin Chambers will show us just how long these nice, dry conditions will last. Making headlines now, federal investigators are looking into that mysterious plane crash in Virginia. A private Cessna jet went down in a dense forest, but not before setting off an emergency at the nation's capital. F-16 fighter jets scrambling to intercept the plane, breaking the sound barrier while they did it and creating a loud sonic boom that was picked up on countless security cameras. Wow. The boom that was heard throughout all those neighborhoods for a good distance. The plane was headed from Tennessee to New York, but after getting to Long Island, it then looped back south. That's when it ended up flying over restricted D.C. airspace, causing the fighter jets to scramble.
A sonic boom can be scary, but it's not as scary as an airplane that is headed toward the White House or the Capitol.
NORAD says the jets deployed flares to try to get the attention of the Cessna pilot, but could later see that the pilot was passed out in the cockpit. The plane crashed in Southern Virginia. Crews reached the crash site last night. No survivors were found. Now, this may not be the last boom heard in our area. Starting today and for the next 2 weeks, the Naval Air Station in Patuxent River, Maryland, confirms that they're going to be doing routine testing events to simulate landing on aircraft carriers. They expect those tests to be heard in the surrounding areas during daytime hours only. Coming up on Fox 45 News at 4, key public safety programs and the city-state's attorney's budget under the microscope tonight. The latest from City Hall as budget hearings continue. Then at 5, 2 teens shot, and we may never know the details or what even happens next in the case. The continued frustration with the state's juvenile justice laws. And at 6, parents are furious. We're hearing from concerned Maryland 529 account holders after a decision to keep its director despite their failures. You can get Fox 45 News in a flash through your Amazon Alexa or Echo. If you have an Amazon device, tell it to enable Fox 45 Baltimore. 11:16 and now to today's talking point. With summer flying season leading to crowded planes and short tempers, should you decline to recline your seat? Well, there's growing debate, even in the airline industry. One consumer advocate says it is okay to recline, but you need to check with the person behind you first and make sure they're not going to spill their drink or crush their laptop. However, another etiquette expert says you should almost never do it so that you don't crowd another's personal space. Experts also disagree about asking permission to recline. One flight attendant's advice, don't ask, but give a heads up. Hey, I'm coming back. Mark Clark with Be More Lifestyle is here now. What do you think? Do you recline? Do you not?
I do not recline. As a big person, I'm already looked at and stared at and commented on. So I do not decline. I decline to recline because I ain't trying to hear it. And also, at this point, it's too much going on. You know, like you said, someone could be drinking something. And I get it, though, as far as the conversation, because I'm like, I don't have to ask you. I paid for the right to. Right. So I don't know if asking is the right thing. And so somebody asked me something on a plane, and I said no, I don't want that. And I think she was shocked. She had a laptop bag, and her foot space was smaller than my, I guess, normal size foot space. And she said, "Hey, do you mind if I slide my laptop in your foot space?" And I said, "Yes, I would mind because." I would. So it's probably not better to ask because you might not like the answer. Yeah, I don't know if I was wrong in this, but I already had my bag. Like, it was going to make it. It was weird. That's a lot, though. You're trying to get in your foot space? So I feel better that now you just said that because I was starting to feel bad. But don't feel bad. It was a weird situation. But I was like, no, I don't want to spend the next, 3 hours, competing with. But I also don't recline because I feel like there's just not enough. And it's the plane's fault. It's the airline's fault. There's not enough space. It's not. There's not enough. And so you feel extremely claustrophobic and crowded. So. I always hate it when I'm on the plane and they come back with that little extender and they hand it to me. They're like, here you go, sir. I'm like, hey, I don't need that. I'm sorry, Mark. Wait a minute. You're not. You keep talking about a big guy. You're not. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. Yeah. You're not that. And can I have some more peanuts, please? Thank you. Can I recline? Yeah, you take the extender and the peanuts. You said, but when we started this, you were like, coming back. I'm not going to do that. Goodbye. We got to go. From one ridiculous topic to another one. Fox is out with an all-new show, and it is out of this world. The new series, Stars on Mars, premieres tonight right here on Fox 45. The show puts celebs to the test, forcing them to live in authentic conditions that simulate life on Mars. It's hosted by none other than TV star William Shatner.
it's a large group of people vying for the title of the greatest celebrity in the galaxy, and it's just a group of people thrust into harsh conditions. Really, we're in the outback of Australia, and they are given a series of tasks, and according to the competence with which they do the tasks, they're voted off or they stay on.
Well, Stars on Mars premieres tonight at 8 right here on Fox 45.
Well, taking a look at weather here on Earth, mid to upper 70s as we take you into that 1 o'clock hour, even lower 80s through the 2 and 3 o'clock hour for this afternoon under mostly sunny skies. Notice the average high of 81, so pretty close to that number and very similar to what we ended up with on Sunday. Actually, it was going to feel just a little bit warmer out there with those temperatures staying near average, and the sun will be up until 8:30 tonight. Definitely getting those longer daylight hours as we inch closer to the summer solstice, typically the longest day of the year. An area-wide upper 70s and lower 80s is what we're going to see for Westminster and Cockeysville over to Bel Air for the afternoon. Eastern Shore even getting in on some of those mid to upper 70s and close to 80 in Laurel down through D.C. as well. In fact, up and down the 95 corridor, pretty nice afternoon here in the mid-Atlantic with lower 80s for Philly and Baltimore down through D.C. 73 in New York City today. If you are heading down the ocean, looking for temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, so not a bad beach day. Maybe you want to fly down there. So visual flight rules here for your pilot cast, looking at pretty nice conditions and pretty calm wind as well. Then if you want to fire up that grill this afternoon into the evening time on your grill cast, we'll keep those numbers in the upper 70s. Should be great for eating dinner outside on the patio or maybe just with the windows cracked open. Here's a look at our future scan. So we do stay dry through Monday afternoon. Now on Tuesday, there's going to be a weak cold front that'll come in from the north, and it will set up a trough of low pressure. That's what that yellow line basically indicates right there. And with that, you get a little bit of uplift, possibly a little bit of moisture, and maybe a stray thunderstorm squeezed out of that. That's what I was talking about. But as we head toward Wednesday and Thursday, that drier air will filter in back behind that. May get another run at some possible showers on Thursday. You can see that other kind of weak system coming through, but it has just been so bone dry that's going to be really hard to squeeze any moisture out. The good news is on our 10-day forecast, we are predicting rain, but it's a little ways away. So lower 80s on Monday with the upper 80s on Tuesday. We're back to the lower 80s toward the end of the week, then mid 80s Saturday with temps right near 90 on Sunday. Notice next Monday, finally a chance, and a pretty good chance, at least for now, for some rain showers finally rolling in.
All right, Justin, thank you. Still ahead, Apple is rolling out new tech. Coming up, how it is incorporating AI into its newest product line. But first, will Netflix create a trend? How one tech insider says the site's password crackdown could spur other sites to do the same. And a big night of all-new television. First, at 8, it's the series premiere of Stars on Mars. Then at 9, it's the Season 2 premiere of Crime Scene Kitchen. And then stick around for Fox 45 News at 10 and the late edition at 11. 11:22 now on Fox 45 News Midday. 11:25. First, it was Netflix cracking down on password sharing, but now tech analysts are warning other streaming services could follow suit. As the companies look at increasing revenue, one expert warns that if Netflix's crackdown works, other streaming services will implement similar strategies. Big news for Apple fans. The company is expected to unveil new tech at this week's Developers Conference. The most anticipated could be the company's new mixed reality headset that offers users both augmented and virtual reality.
This Fox 45 News segment is sponsored by Chime Medical Center.
It is that time of year where we celebrate Dad, and you could win extra spending money to spend on Dad every day from now until June 15th. Grab your phone to scan the QR code for your chance to win a $100 Visa gift card. Play our Father's Day Pop Quiz Trivia Contest. Get the question right, and you could win the daily prize of a $100 Visa gift card. Again, just scan the QR code to get the Father's Day Pop Quiz Trivia question of the day. Good luck. Well, that's all we have for Fox 45 News Midday. Be More Lifestyle is up next. Mark Clark back to tell us what they're working on.
That's right, Patrice. We're talking about it. Think you could survive on Mars? 12 of your favorite celebrities are about to be put to the test. Coming up, we'll chat about the new show that's pitting your favorite celebrities against each other for an out-of-this-world competition. That's coming up next.
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
And what's up, Baltimore? I'm Mark Clark, and this is Be More Lifestyle live from Studio A at Fox Baltimore. Lady T is here, along with Chef Kedrick Barrett, joining us from his car. Kedrick is so busy. Hey, man, thanks for checking in.
He's on the go.
Let me tell you right now. We've all heard stories and debate over how to split the bill when you're eating out with friends, but what if you're invited over to their house? In a new viral story, a person says they were invited over for dinner at a party and then sent a bill from the host asking for them to pay for their share of the groceries.
Whoa.
Okay, Kedrick, you're a chef. This seems like this is not right. What do you say?
It seems like what?
No, it's not right. If we didn't discuss this beforehand, then you can't, pop that on me at the end of the meal. If that's the case, then I'm going to pack up the rest of these groceries and they're going to go to the house with me.
Lady T, now I know this sounds crazy. Now I would be like, wait a minute now.
This is next level trifling, okay? These are the type of friends that you try to get rid of at that point, honestly. Why would they need to participate for groceries? Like, what else is there? I just don't understand. Like, also, you guys could have ordered food. You could have ordered takeout. Why do we need it? I just don't understand.
So you had 4 eggs and your 4 ice cubes.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, now you a restaurant now? Okay, I don't understand this. This is crazy.
We want you to tell it, okay? Who should pay for dinner? The host or the guest? Vote on our website, foxbaltimore.com/vote. When you get to the website, make sure you click on the Lifestyle tab. You can also vote on our Fox 45 News app, and at the end of the show, we'll see what everybody thinks. Now, Fox is out with an all-new show, and it's out of this world. The new series, Stars on Mars, premieres tonight right here on Fox 45. The show puts celebs to the test, forcing them to live an authentic condition, simulated like it's Mars.
Wow.
Okay? Hosted by, of course, the William Shatner.
It's a large group of people vying for the title of the greatest celebrity in the galaxy, and it's just a group of people thrust into harsh conditions. Really, we're in the outback of Australia, and they are given a series of tasks. And according to the competence with which they do the tasks, they're voted off or they stay on.
Rover. Here's a shot of our rover right here.
Hey.
And so guided by Pete. Great job, Pete. Amazing.
Yes.
They're coming to take our jobs, Lady T.
Look at this. This is so cool. I am in love. I don't know why. I think it's so cool to look at.
It's so cute. I mean, of course, Chef's not here, but Chef, it's amazing. You can see this thing. And so will we be watching tonight? Are you going to watch this, Lady T?
I don't have a choice now. Also, it's on our station. So, yeah. This thing is so cool. Does it bring us mimosas? I just feel like we can use this for so many things in studio. You feel me?
It's got a speaker on it,
drinks
too.
is one. Yo, AI and robots are taking over. And these are going to be our boyfriends one day. These are going to be our husbands one day.
All right. So make sure you watch tonight, of course. It'll be going on.
Life on Mars, y'all.
Yep, it premieres tonight at 8 right here on Fox 45. Now, if you have trouble sleeping at night, it could be your late night snacks that's to blame.
Okay.
New study finds eating junk food diets high in sugar and fat could lead to poor sleep. And also sleep problems have been linked with increased high blood pressure and diabetes and depression. And back to the chef. Okay, Chef. Now, I know your food's delicious, but do you recommend we eat some of your food before bed, or are you also not down with that?
Now, it depends on what it is, man. If we didn't have Mexican or something like that, then I probably wouldn't recommend you eat them beans before you go to bed. You might have a case of the BGs, man. And I don't want to be responsible for you having the bubble guts.
There you go.
Well, thanks, Chef. He's responsible with his food. Lady T, are you?
I like that.
Do you like to snack before bed, or do you stay away at a certain time?
I don't like to snack before bed because I got really bad acid reflux. I'm old out here in these streets.
What?
Okay, y'all. I know I can't do it. Or else I got to sit up for like 2 hours. It's gonna be a problem. But I do snack throughout the day. I will have some walnuts. I have some Oreos. I do snack throughout the day. But at night, no. If I got to sit up 2 hours before I gotta go to bed, then no, I'm all right. We have early mornings, Mark. We can't be doing stuff like that.
In theory, I have a cutoff time, but in reality, I might be snacking.
What's your cutoff time?
It's supposed to be like hours before bedtime.
Yeah. Okay.
But
so like 7 or 8.
You get that last. You go through the kitchen, that last run, open up the fridge, and just stand there. You just look around.
I do that that too, because sometimes you never know within an hour things might change within the fridge. You don't know.
Is that an egg? I don't know. All right, okay, so coming up, still ahead. We'll see you later in the show, Chef. Lady T, we may see you, I don't know. Still ahead, we'll go behind the scenes of one of Hollywood's biggest TV crime writers. The project he's working on now, that's a big departure from TV. But first, say goodbye to wrinkles and hello to more youthful look. That's right, the new skincare treatment that works while you sleep. Just don't have a snack. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
Skincare while you sleep today. Geneve Gorder has a deal on one of her favorite skincare products. Here she is with today's America Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
You guys, we have one of the hottest trends from one of your favorite beauty brands and anti-aging brands, Wrinkle Schminkles. Now, every time they come onto the show, and they've been coming on since the very beginning, we sell out. So pay attention because this is a new product. These are their self-dissolving microneedle patches, and here's how they work. You simply peel off the patch, apply with a bit of pressure, and you'll start to see the incredible results. I like to wear these overnight, and they literally melt into your skin. The microneedles are actually crystals on the patch infused with ingredients to plump and hydrate your skin, just like microneedling, a favorite celebrity skin treatment that you can now do at home. Collagen and peptides melt away and infuse deep down into the skin, helping smooth those fine lines and wrinkles, whether it's around your mouth, by your eyes, between your eyes. We all have our areas. Now, most skin treatments sit on top of your skin. The patches work below the surface, and the results come from inside out, into the dermal layers of your skin. We always sell out on Wrinkle Schminkles, so do not wait on this. They come in a pack of 4. Get a few boxes, try them out. Trust me, the results are fantastic. The deal on Wrinkle Schminkles microneedle patches is 25% off. These are a must-have in any beauty routine. Simply go to asadeals.com.
He's the brains behind some of TV's hottest crime shows, and now he's setting his sights on Broadway. Entertainment reporter Trevor Scott goes one-on-one with TV writer and producer Anthony Zucker.
Anthony, thanks for joining us. You know, in addition to being an award-winning TV producer, you've innovated with CSI. You are now an executive producer on Soul Train the Musical, which definitely has piqued my interest. How did this project evolve? And tell me about some of the really cool collaborations you have.
Thank you. Well, you know, Soul Train the Musical is going to be a fantastic musical that will debut in San Francisco August 25th for a couple of weeks, and it'll move to Broadway 2024. Been working on that musical for about 8 years, so it does take that long. It's a wonderful story about Don Cornelius and the dancers back in the heyday of Soul Train. I'm EPing the show along with Questlove, so it should be, it's perfect for these times.
Incredible. Really the perfect way to tell that story as well. In addition to that, you also have a new young readers book coming out, and I understand that these projects are really important to you.
Yeah, they are. You know, back in the day, I did a book with my middle son called A for Autism. He came to me and said, Dad, I want to do a book to tell all the kids what's wrong with me. And I said, well, why don't we try to do a book and tell kids what's right with you?
Absolutely.
So I interviewed my son and wrote a graphic novel for him and published it. And it was super emotional. It was a great project for us. But he didn't want to actually put it into the world. He wanted to keep it private, which is fine. So my wife, who's an educator, Michelle, got together and we did Zyker Press, and now we do all kinds of kid stories about divorce, cyberbullying, racism, body image, suicide, school shooting. This latest one you're mentioning is called Soaring, a Story of Courage, written by Sunil Ram. He's a young man in a wheelchair, motorized wheelchair. He's 26, suffers from DMD, which is Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
You're also creating and helping create content for our parent company, Sinclair, which is terrific to see them innovating in this original programming arena. What can we expect? What are some of the projects that you're working on?
I have coined the phrase officially, original content powered by Sinclair.
I love it.
So Sinclair is a phenomenal company with awesome and great people, happy to come in and consult and talk about news, but more importantly, to bring original programming to Sinclair, which is super fun. We're off to a marvelous start already. We have a 6-part series called Timeline, which is a forensic deconstruction of the shooting on October 1st of 2017 in Las Vegas. And also, we have a great show called Crisscross Crossword, which is a game show that feels incredibly timeless for the viewers, and also doing things in the courtroom space, in the game show space also. So it's really fun for me to kind of get in here as a creator and a global storyteller to do original content for Sinclair and be backed by really passionate, fantastic people. From Mr. Smith all the way down. So I'm very happy to be part of the family.
And we are glad you are as well. So many terrific projects to look forward to, and we do. Anthony, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks very much. Take care.
Still ahead, if you need a little help with your garden, we've got you covered. We'll show you how to get the perfect outdoor space, even if you don't have a green thumb. But first, the chef shares how he lost 245 pounds. What? Yes, it's coming up next.
This is Be More Lifestyle.
Chef Kedrick Barrett makes a living making delicious foods for others, but also lost over 245 pounds pushing back from the table. He joins us now on Be More Lifestyle. Ked, welcome. How are you?
How you doing, Brother Mark?
So, Chef,
thanks for having me, man.
Chef, how'd you get into cooking?
It was reluctantly, man. I was a latchkey kid, and I got into cooking by force of my mother. She would call me from home, and she's like, "You see that chicken that's in the sink over there?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what to do with it. Turn the oven on, preheat it, season it up." I mean, I'm trying to watch your MTV Raps. I wasn't trying to hit none of that, but it started from me starting her dinners, and she would come home and finish it, to me eventually cooking the entire meal.
Now look at you now, award-winning chef. Got to thank Ma Dukes for that, right? So
definitely got to thank Ma Dukes, man.
And so, Chef, in addition to making amazing food, you also make amazing seasonings. Tell us about Hype Seasonings.
Yeah, it started out, I love to experiment with different seasonings and flavors, and we got 3 boys. And with boys, man, you get them some chicken nuggets and some fries, and they all good. So I was mixing up different seasonings, giving these fries different flavors, and I stumbled up on this seasoning that I call Memphis City Blues now, and it was great for the fries. The boys loved it. I ended up trying it on chicken, and the rest is history. I just started putting it on everything now, and it's just, that was the first blend that I made, and the second one is Taco Tuesday. Everybody loves tacos.
Right, everybody loves tacos. So again, Chef, we don't have a lot of time, but we got to share your story. Look, I did the sleeve surgery. I lost over 100 pounds. You did the sleeve surgery. You lost over 245 pounds. Why did you do the surgery? And tell us about the outcome.
Man, I wanted to live, brother. To be honest with you, I wanted to be around to see my kids. I didn't honestly think I would live to see 50. And God willing, I'll make 50 next year. And I had to. I had too many comorbidities. I was high blood pressure, gout, sleep apnea, reflux, you name it, I had it. And what the last straw was, I was pre-diabetic and on my way to graduating to insulin for metformin. And that was a straw that broke the camel's back. I knew I needed to do something, and VSD saved my life. I'm 245 pounds down, and I'm having the time of my life now, finally.
Well, Chef, we appreciate you, man. What an amazing story. How can people reach you? I know you got cookbooks, you got seasonings, you got all kind of things going on. How can people stay in contact with you?
If they want to get at me on email, it's chefkeduncut@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram @keduncut, KEDUNCUT. And you can go to hypeseasonings.com and check out those great seasonings, man. I promise you it's going to change your life.
Okay, we need to get you in studio so you can show us next time, okay? Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate you.
Definitely. Now over to meteorologist Justin Chambers with the weather.
There's a really pretty shot from my buddy Ed down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Look at that. The sun rising. You can see the foam and the waves and all that great wild and wonderful weather that we always have all around the region and all around the U.S. for that matter. So I love getting those pictures. You can always chime in and send those pictures in yourself so we can see what you see out your door. Our partly cloudy skies, that's going to be what we're talking about for today. And temperatures near average. In fact, things looking pretty nice. Lower 80s for today. Mainly dry week ahead. Now, we definitely are staying rain-free for the course of the afternoon and maybe a chance at a shower for tomorrow. But upper 70s and lower 80s on your hour-by-hour forecast, and should top out right about 81 for our high today. That temp pretty close to average. Sun will be up until 8:30 tonight. Now, you can check out some of these numbers. A lot of us in the mid to upper 70s, so really a nice June afternoon considering we were in those 90s last week. We'll keep the mid to upper 70s for Westminster and Bel Air over to Cockeysville, 78 in Chestertown, 81 in Baltimore City, and up and down the 95 corridor, 80s in D.C., up into Philly as well, with mid to upper 60s if you're heading down the ocean there for Ocean City. Great afternoon or evening to hang out on the patio, fire up that grill with temperatures staying in the mid to upper 70s and dropping through the evening time. Overall, we stay dry for the afternoon. There's a weak cold front coming in tomorrow. That is going to pick up our wind and possibly give us a chance at a stray pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Don't be surprised you see some of those towering cumulus clouds on Tuesday. But by Wednesday and Thursday, the drier air and cooler air is working back in, and that will be the case as we head into the end of the week. So here's your exclusive 10-day forecast. Lower 80s today with the upper 80s on Tuesday. We get back to the lower 80s as we head toward the end of the week, but then the temperatures rise Saturday and even Sunday. We hit 90. Finally, by next Monday, we're tracking at least a better chance at some actual rain rolling in.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Scott's Miracle Grow.
Summer
is just around the corner, and it's the time of the year when homeowners across the country start to plan, prep, and plant in the yard. But with drought conditions returning in many parts of the country, it can be difficult to create lush outdoor spaces while being mindful of the environment and water conservation efforts. Joining us now with some tips to help are experts from Scott's Miracle Grow, Amy Enfield and Matthew Koch. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, with drought conditions predicted to return and intensify, what should people be thinking about as they start prepping their yards for the summer?
So I have three main tips for you that I think any homeowner can execute on that has a lawn. First is to feed your lawn. The idea here is that you're strengthening your lawn so it can last during those conditions. You'd be driving deep roots so that way you can access deep water and deep nutrients during drought conditions. A second tip is to raise your mowing height. Believe it or not, what you do to the top, you do to the bottom in turf. So if you're mowing low, you're going to have very shallow roots. So by increasing your mowing height, you're actually going to drive deeper roots so access that deep water. And finally, use what Mother Nature gives you. When it's raining, you don't want to be irrigating. So if you're someone that does irrigate their lawn, timing your irrigation cycles between rainfall events is appropriate. And if you don't irrigate your lawn, letting your lawn go dormant and brown for short periods of time is okay, because when you're feeding your lawn, it will recover when the drought conditions are alleviated.
Now, when it comes to gardening, how can we maintain a living outdoor space while conserving water?
So I likewise have 3 tips, and it's all about making every drop of water we put into our garden and landscape beds count. And the first tip is to start with good soil. So we want to make sure that when we're prepping our beds in spring and early summer, that we're incorporating organic matter into our landscape beds. And a great way to do that is to add Miracle Grow garden soil. Mixing that in with our existing soil is going to improve the soil structure so that water better infiltrates whenever we water or we get a rainfall, and so that becomes available where the plants need it near the roots. The second is, once everything is planted for the season, we want to make sure that we put down a nice thick layer of mulch around all of our plants. And the benefit of mulching, besides making the landscape beds look really nice and finished for the season, is that it's going to help hold moisture in the soil longer because it prevents evaporation from the soil. So the plants have more water longer and you don't have to water as frequently. The third is, if there's not enough rainfall and you do find yourself having to water, making sure that you're applying that water correctly, directing it towards the soil near the roots where they need it, not letting it all over the leaves where it's just going to evaporate. Personally, I like to put soaker hoses in my landscape beds under the mulch so that I can really control where that water goes and making sure it's all getting down into the soil near the root systems.
Excellent insight from 2 experts. Where can we go for more information?
So there are some great tips, tricks, resources on our website. It's at www.scottsmiraclegrow.com.
Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
All right, till next time. Bye.
This Fox 45 News segment is sponsored by Jai Medical Center.
And it's that time of year we celebrate Dad, and you can win extra spending money every day from now until June 15th. Grab your phone to scan this QR code for your chance to win a $100 Visa gift card. Play our Father's Day Pop Quiz Trivia Contest. Get the question right, and you could win the daily prize of $100 Visa gift card. Again, scan the QR code to get the Father's Day Pop Quiz Trivia question of the day. Good luck, all right? Now, still ahead, we're talking dinner party etiquette. We'll tell you about the new trend that some are calling cringe and see what you're saying about it. We've all heard stories and debate over how to split the bill when you're eating out with friends, but what if you're invited over to their house? In a new viral story, a person says they were invited over for a dinner party, then sent a bill from the host asking them to pay for their share of the groceries. We wanted you to tell it. Who should pay for dinner, hosts or guests? The majority say, of course, the host. Got a great show lined up for tomorrow. We're celebrating dads and grads. Coming up, we'll share some gifts both are sure to love at a price that won't break the bank.
Find out how to have your business featured on Be More Lifestyle. Email us at BeMoreLifestyleTV@FoxBaltimore.com.
And shout out to all the graduates. I know it's graduate season. Shout out to the dads and grandpops and all that out there. And of course, we'll have an exciting week about that. Also, Geminis. Thanks for inviting us into your home. Make sure to follow Be More Lifestyle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and everywhere else. We'll see you tomorrow.